Double shifts for weeks to afford my wife's birthday gift. Her brother opened it and said, "This cheap thing? You should be ashamed." She threw it in the trash in front of me and said, "Don't embarrass me again." That night, I took the trash out and left something else in its place that made them. I'm Dan, 41 years old, HVAC tech in Evansville, Indiana. I fix air systems in old warehouses and department stores. Not a glamorous job, but it pays okay, and I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it since I was 20. I'm used to long hours, getting dirt under my nails, crawling through crawl spaces in 100 degrees heat. Hard work doesn't scare me. My wife, Jenna, and I have been married for 7 years. Things were good at first. We didn't have a lot, but we had enough. She worked as a part-time librarian when we met, and she was soft-spoken, bookish, kind. She used to get excited about little things like new candles, random drives in the country, thrift store finds. I thought we understood each other, but she started changing about 2 years ago. It started when her older brother Ronnie came back into the picture. He'd been out of state for a while doing real estate flips in Nashville or somewhere and then moved back after his last project fell through. He made a decent amount of money, but he always acted like he was way richer than he actually was. Flashy clothes, expensive cologne, cheap attitude. He started coming over more. At first it was once a month, then once a week. Then it felt like he lived in our damn living room. Jenna changed around him. Her voice got higher, her laugh louder, her standards different. She used to enjoy our simple life. Now she started saying things like, "We should have nicer things." Ronnie says, "Most people our age are already building their dream homes." Ronnie didn't respect me. I knew it. He never said it to my face, but it was all in his tone. "You still doing that HVAC stuff?" He'd asked with that smirk. He made it sound like I was fixing toilets with a plunger. Anyway, Jenna's birthday was coming up. I wanted to do something meaningful. We didn't have a lot of money, but I knew she'd been eyeing this rose gold watch at Macy's. I remembered her pointing it out when we walked through them all once. It wasn't super fancy, but it was still $270, which was more than we usually spent on gifts. I took on every extra shift I could. Work nights, doubles, missed sleep. I even turned down my brother's weekend trip to Kentucky Lake just so I could take one more shift on a Saturday. I didn't say anything to Jenna. I just saved and saved. I thought the surprise would mean more that way. I finally bought the watch a few days before her birthday. Had it engraved with "Time can change everything." Love, Dee thought it sounded meaningful, like something she'd smile about. Her birthday came. I got off work and made it home at 6:15, exactly when I told her I'd be there. Ronnie was already there. So was his girlfriend Mandy, who never made eye contact with me. Music was on, drinks were open, and I felt like I walked into a party I hadn't been invited to. Jenna barely looked at me. "You're late," she said. I wasn't, but I didn't argue. I just pulled the gift from my backpack, wrapped in blue paper, and handed it to her. She looked at it like it was something she didn't want to touch. "This is it." Before she could open it, Ronnie grabbed it out of her hands. "Let's see what HVAC Santa brought," he said, laughing. He tore into the wrapping like it was a joke. He opened the box and saw the watch. "This cheap thing," he said, laughing hard. "You should be ashamed, bro." He tossed the box onto the table like it was a receipt. Jenna didn't even flinch. She walked over, picked up the box, looked at it for maybe 3 seconds, then turned and dropped the whole thing. Watch, box, everything. Straight into the kitchen trash. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Don't embarrass me again." I just stood there. I felt like I got punched in the chest. Nobody said anything. Nobody stood up for me. They just turned the music up and kept drinking. That night, I didn't sleep. I laid on the couch. I kept staring at the trash can. At 2 a.m., I got up and pulled the watch out of the garbage, wiped it clean. It still worked, still ticking. I stared at the engraving for a long time. Then I had a thought. I grabbed my work toolbox and took out the inspection camera I use for tight ducks. It's a little USB thing. Motion triggered records in HD. I placed it behind the fake plant in the corner of the living room. Then I installed another above the kitchen cabinet. One more in the hallway. All motion triggered, all connected to an app on my phone because I didn't trust them anymore. I wanted to believe I was just paranoid, but deep down I knew I wasn't. For weeks, I acted normal. I said nothing. I watched the videos every night. First, it was little stuff. Ronnie letting himself in when I was at work, sitting on the couch for hours. Sometimes alone, sometimes Jenna was there, too. They'd talk, whisper, drink wine together. She started dressing differently around him, tighter stuff. I tried not to assume the worst. Then the hallway cam caught something else. Ronnie came out of our bedroom alone, shirt half tucked, hair messy. That's when I started recording everything. I backed up the files on 2 flash drives. Then one night, I saw Ronnie grab my laptop. He tried guessing my password 5 times. Jenna was standing right next to him, watching, smiling. That's when I knew it wasn't just about sex. They were planning something bigger, something involving my money, maybe even my business. That night, I ordered a phone cloning tool. Took Jenna's phone while she was asleep and cloned it to mine. What I saw made me sick. "Jenna, I'm tired of being married to a broke man with dirty fingernails." "Ronnie, we're almost there. Be patient. Let him hang himself." "Jenna, let's do it after my birthday. He's trying to make it special. Probably another sad card and some gas station flowers." They thought they were playing me. They didn't know I had every move recorded. I didn't say a word. I started moving my things out of the house a little at a time. Tools, documents, clothes, even my dad's old Winchester. I opened a new bank account, transferred money in small pieces, closed the joint credit card. I contacted my cousin Brad, who's a sheriff's deputy up in Jasper. I showed him everything, the videos, the texts, the recordings. He nodded slowly. "We can build a case," he said. Then he helped me hire a lawyer. I filed for divorce, but I didn't serve Jenna yet because I had something else planned. I waited until her next birthday. I handed her the same gift box. She rolled her eyes. "Another watch." She opened it, saw the same watch she threw out. She looked up at me, annoyed. "You brought this back from the trash." I smiled. "Something like that." Then the door opened. Brad walked in with 2 uniformed officers behind him. "That's where I'll pick up next. You're not going to believe how fast everything spiraled." Jenna didn't move at first. She just sat there holding the box, blinking like she didn't understand what was happening. 1 second earlier, she was smirking. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.